Hi Teepers, it's Big B, and today I want to talk to you about folktales, stories that belong to you. If you want to enjoy a story today, there are endless options at your fingertips. Movies, TV, online streaming. We have instant access to stories by masters of entertainment. I enjoy a good Marvel movie or Dino movie as much as the next guy. But I also try to remember, these are stories made by people who do not know me, and they make millions of dollars off of consumers like me and you. There was a time when storytelling was not like that. There was a time when stories were not Hollywood products, but something passed on in families and tribes. Stories were shared around a fire, maybe on a cold night, from parent to child, from generation to generation. It was a tradition, an inheritance, something not to be bought or sold, but something that belonged to a community. Folktales are stories that are passed down from generation to generation within a culture. They are often passed down by being spoken out loud, and the details of folktales can shift and change over time. A few years ago, I learned the tale of Saint Kevin and the Blackbird. It's about a monk, a holy man who prayed in the woods with his hands outstretched toward heaven. He was so constant in his prayer and so still in his body that a blackbird thought his hand was an outstretched branch. The bird built a nest in the hand of the saint before he realized what was happening. Kevin felt obligated not to disturb the nest, so he stayed still for weeks until the young ones left the nest. When I learned this Irish folktale, I felt a stronger connection to my past. I felt in on a secret of my ancestors. Something about their imaginations, their spirit. I pictured a people of wilderness, a people of faith, a people of immense patience. Every people group has its own folktales, stories that belong to that group, stories that make that group connected, strong, unique. I enjoyed recently learning about Anansi, the Spider-Man. He's a character from West Africa that spread in fame throughout Africa, the Caribbean, and in some ways throughout the US. There are many stories told of Anansi. He is a bold and witty character, able to compete with nature and even with the gods. In folklore, he was also the one who was able to buy all stories from the sky god, and he kept all stories and all wisdom to himself for a while until he decided that these things should be poured out, spread to the far corners of the world. It's better for everybody to possess some of the knowledge and some of the stories. What are some of the tales of your people, of your community? If you don't know some, there are plenty recorded online. The website fairytales.com is a pretty good starting place, featuring tales categorized by the region of the world that they came from. But whether it's folktales, family stories, or personal memories, I encourage you to start at home. Start to reclaim story time with a family member or a friend. Every once in a while, set down the phone, the remote, even the book, and ask someone older about the time when they were young, or about a story they know from the old days. Reclaim the tradition of storytelling in your family, in your community. These stories are not to be bought and sold. They are yours. They belong to you. And they remind you that you belong to a story from long, long ago.